Okay, I thought I'd try a travel video. Just back from Nashville, visited there April 2023. Had a great time, so I thought I'd show you around a bit. I thought first we'd go over a little history of the Nashville area. Nashville is, of course, in Tennessee. This is from the Nashville.com. I'm just going to read a little bit from that. Some Native Americans of the Mississippian culture lived there from approximately 1000 to 1500 AD. They were descendants of the prehistoric inhabitants who first came to the Tennessee region around 12,000 years ago. The Mississippians hunted and grew corn, built huge earthen mounds, and painted impressive pottery before being replaced by tribes such as the Cherokee, Chickasaw, and the Shawnee. In 1689, French-Canadian explorer Martin Chartier established a trading post on the Cumberland River. That's the river that runs through Nashville. French traders, under the command of Jean de Charleville, established a trading post there near downtown Nashville, which became known as French Lick, L-I-C-K. The settlers traded fur with the Native Americans, but in the 1740s, the settlement was abandoned. Maybe you've heard of the Over Mountain Men. The explorers James Robertson and John Donaldson led a party of the Over Mountain Men to the former site of Fort Lick in 1779. And constructed a fort called Fort Nashboro. The settlement was named after Francis Nash, a general and American Revolutionary War hero who was killed in the Battle of Germantown in Pennsylvania 2 years earlier in October of 1777. I guess the guy was famous enough to have a few places named after him. There's apparently a Nashville, North Carolina, Nashville, Georgia, and a Nash County in North Carolina. Well, the settlement prospered, shortened its name to Nashville from Nashboro in 1784, and became a major railroad center. By 1800, the town had 345 permanent residents. They included 136 enslaved African Americans and 14 free African Americans. In 1806, Nashville was incorporated as a city and became a county seat of Davidson County. In 1843, Nashville became a capital of the state of Tennessee, which was the 16th state in 1796. Before the Civil War, Nashville was a center of numerous plantations, growing tobacco and hemp, as well as breeding and training thoroughbred horses. The city ranked as one of the wealthiest of the southern capitals and led the South in iron production, believe it or not. A cholera epidemic hit Nashville in 1849 and took the lives of 627 Nashvillians, including the former President James K. Polk, who was buried on the Capitol grounds. After the Civil War began in 1861, Nashville's significance as a shipping port and rail center made it a strategic target to control the region's river and railroad transportation routes. In February of 1862, Nashville became the first Confederate state capital to fall to the Union troops, and Tennessee was occupied by Union troops for the duration of the war. The Battle of Nashville, which was fought in December of 1864, was a major Union victory and sealed the fate of the Confederacy. More than 64,000 Confederate soldiers and 59,000 Union soldiers died in Tennessee. After the Civil War, Nashville really thrived. It did, however, unfortunately, become a cradle for the lost cause of the Confederacy, which is an apologist sort of pseudo-historical view of the Civil War. I guess I would describe it as a right-wing revisionist history of the Civil War. You can read about it if you're interested. Nashville also hosted the first chapter of the United Daughters of the Confederacy, which was a tremendous supporter of the KKK, and you can read about that as well if you're interested. All that being said, most of us know Nashville as a music city, especially the hub of country music, or as they claim, the home of country music. Actually, the home, I believe, is actually in Bristol, Tennessee, in the 1920s. It's also home of barbecue and hot chicken, namely Prince's Hot Chicken. The first Prince's Hot Chicken was opened in 1945 at Jefferson and 28th Ave. It's a pretty funny story if you want to read about it. Ken Burns has a PBS documentary on country music, which, for those of you interested, should probably take a look. Well, in this video, I just wanted to take you, sort of from the airport to Nashville and take you around a bit. I spent nearly a week there and show you the stuff that my wife and I did. We definitely had a lot of fun, and I hope that you find the rest of this video interesting. First off, I thought I'd go through some of my pre-flight rituals. One of them is that I take about 160 milligrams of aspirin for 3 days prior to the flight. This is my thought on trying to prevent any small blood clots in the leg. I should note that the CDC does not recommend this, but I also have no contraindication to aspirin, so I take it. This is probably more important for flights over 4 hours, but again, I do take it before my flights. You should consult your own doctor and see what you think. I'll leave some links so you can read about aspirin. I also wear compression stockings for my flights. This can prevent blood clots as well. I do tend to get swollen feet now that I'm older. I never used to get it. So for long flights when I'm sitting around, my feet do get a bit swollen, and the compression stockings definitely help. Stretching and contracting your calf and thigh muscles every half hour or so while you're sitting can be helpful in getting the blood flow moving. Also avoid crossing your legs. Definitely you got to stay hydrated during flights. Those are key things. So take it for what you will. All right, landed in Nashville. Going to see some country music and eat some ribs.
Chicken.
And hot chicken. Okay, so we decided to take the bus into Nashville from the airport. Now you got to pay cash. And right now it's, what is it, April 2023. It's $2 per person. So you need to have exact change. Luckily, the guy at the information desk, he was really kind and broke a 10 for us. All right. Nashville Airport is, I would say, a medium-sized airport, pretty easy to navigate. Just look for the signs. We ended up taking the local bus into town. It's a short trip, about 20-30 minutes. Time of this taping, it costs $2 cash per person, so you got to bring dollar bills or coins for the bus driver. The bus number 18 leaves you at the We Go City Station, which is downtown Nashville. I think it's at the corner of Charlotte Avenue and John Lewis Avenue on the bottom level. Just remember where it is if you're going to take the bus on the way home, just so you're not rushing around, you'll know exactly where it is. Okay, we're on the bus heading down for Nashville. All right, we just got off the bus, and now we're going to take a walk to the hotel, and right by the bus station, check it out. Another piece of history. Looks like everywhere we turn, we're going to see some piece of history. Here's the marathon happening. Here's the hotel, and of course it's Nashville, so it's live music. No kidding. I would say that the best place to stay in Nashville is near Broadway. You're going to pay for that because Broadway is extremely loud. So near Broadway and near to the Cumberland River. I think that's an ideal location. You'll be downtown and central to everything. I should warn you though, Broadway is very loud from starting at 10 a.m. until way past midnight. So if you have a hard time getting to sleep and you need quiet, then it's not ideal. However, that's where all the action is in Nashville. Okay, here we are walking down Broadway. As you see, every bar has a great band. All you do is pop in, grab a beer, and sit back and listen to the music that you like. It's really quite a scene. I don't know any other city that's quite like this. The sidewalks are full of people, and I'm just going to sit back and let you enjoy the scenes.
nervous when they saw me at the service, and the preacher asked if anyone had anything to say. When they said I do, I jumped up and said thank you, cause my alimony just stopped today. Delicate mountain, he's sleeping in my bed, he's watching TV, he's scratching my dog.
And if you are familiar with the preamble of the Constitution of the United States, it says, we all are born with the God-given inalienable right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, our forefathers wrote that specifically because they knew life and liberty were absolute. But they knew how hard happiness was to find. So they knew that no matter how long you lived, you would always be in the pursuit of it. You may never find it, but you would always be in the pursuit of happiness. I want to say this. If somebody is born a man and then they decide that they'd rather be a woman, knock yourself out. It ain't none of my business. If you're born a woman and you want to be a man, knock yourself out. It ain't none of my damn business. But here's the rub. Here's the rub. When biological men start competing against our daughters and our granddaughters in sports, that's a different story. That's a different story. Then you're not just living your life on your terms, then you trample on our terms. And here, I will just pose this one question. Just this one question. You may be against it, you may be for it, that's okay. But what happens when there's enough transgender athletes to replace all the females on that team? Don't think it will not happen. Don't think it won't happen. If a coach and the college can get a national championship, they're going to freaking do it. I just think that our daughters and our granddaughters work their entire lives to be great at sports. They do. They spend their entire lives. And we should make it where they get to compete against each other. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So regardless of what Anheuser, the dope shit that they do, I wrote this next song 15 years ago at the time about my two most favorite things. I wrote this song about my mama and Budweiser. And the name of this here song is called Mama and Budweiser. And I'm going to sing this shit and I'm going to drink this beer. And by God, like I said, I want you all to go out and live your best life. I really do. I really do. And can I tell you, everybody talks about world peace. I've heard that since I was old enough to understand the term. Do you know how we can achieve world peace tomorrow? It's so simple. It's the most simple thing on the entire planet, but nobody gets it. If everybody in the world would mind their own damn business and stop trying to tell everybody else how to live, we can have world peace tomorrow, man. I ain't shitting. What you do at your house don't got shit to do with me at my house. So here's some Mama and Budweiser. Played all these clubs here in Nashville. Now I got me one of those real deals. That's all the cars with the girls and guitars. That's all I got.
While you're exploring Nashville, do not miss out on Printer's Alley. This is a funky, funky place. It's got this Skull's Rainbow Room, which is a sort of a speakeasy, and looks like a really great place to hang out and check out this Cadillac. Just for some quick background, one of the first sit-ins in the United States was actually done by the United Auto Workers against General Motors in 1937. One of the first anti-segregationalist sit-ins was done by CORE, the Congress for Racial Equality, in Chicago in 1942 in a coffee shop. The sit-in that we probably know the best was in Greensboro, North Carolina, on February 1st, 1960, where 4 freshmen from the Agricultural and Technical College of North Carolina had a sit-in at the Woolworths department in that state. The Nashville sit-ins began February 13, 1960, and lasted for about 3 months. Interesting history, worth reading up on it. Here we are on our way to the farmer's market in Nashville. However, I think we started a bit late because there was not much to see. It is open daily, but I think it closes around 4 p.m. Certain months, I think 2 p.m. during the winter. So just check the schedule before you head out. It was a bit of a disappointment for us, but this is more or less what it looks like. From the farmer's market, we headed over to the Germantown area of Nashville. It's supposed to be quaint, full of sort of chic cafes and such. We didn't find too much there. It's a bit of a walk. You'll have to figure out whether you think it's worth it or not. There is the Musicians Hall of Fame museum there. We did not go in. That was opened up in 2006. And you can look into that, see if that's something that's interesting to you. So we headed back to Broadway, enjoyed the walk, and really enjoyed the building art. And you'll see that throughout this video, actually. That was quite fun. Exploring Nashville brought us to the Nashville Metropolitan Courthouse, which is an Art Deco building finished 1937-38. We thought that was pretty cool if you note the Doric columns. And the doors have famous lawmakers like Moses, Justinian, and King John. It was definitely a fun visit. There are a few hotels to check out in Nashville. One of them is this 21C Museum Hotel. Very cool hotel, worth a visit. Look it up, I'll take you in and we'll take a look around. Hotel Indigo, another great hotel, fun visit near Printer's Alley. Let's go inside. Ah, the Hermitage Hotel. A Beaux-Arts style construction, finished in 1910. It is a National Historic Landmark because of its role in the 19th Amendment, which we all know is the amendment that gave women the right to vote, which was passed in 1919. It's also on the National Registry of Historic Places since 1975. Let's go inside. I think you'll be impressed. And we were quite impressed with the men's bathroom, believe it or not. Voted #1 in the nation. Let's have a look. So we're not big spenders, so we are making our own dinner here. "8:30 a.m. Not much happening. You don't hear any music, you just see a lot of cleanup. People wandering around. We decided to explore East Nashville. We did this over 2 days. The first day is here. This is during the marathon, and we'll show you some pictures of the marathon. The second day, we really dove into East Nashville. We read that East Nashville has a lot of murals, so we went mural hunting, which was kind of fun. And then we hit a few places for eats. And that's sort of in the food section of this video. So let's have a look. To get to East Nashville, of course, you got to cross the Cumberland River. Here we are on the pedestrian bridge. On the way back, we ended up taking the Korean Veterans Memorial Bridge, which is totally doable. At the finish line, Nashville Marathon. It's a big party going on. Typical of Nashville, live music everywhere. And guess what? We ran into John Wayne's granddaughter. She's the one in the black hat. So as you see, East Nashville has tons of murals, and it was a lot of fun looking for them and taking photos. And if you like selfies, it's a great place for a bunch of selfies. There's a great place for a cold beer called Tailgate. I highly recommend Tailgate Brewery. The people there are super nice, and you have a fine array of different kinds of beers to try. Once we finished our cold brew at the Tailgate, we were a little bit hungry, so we were going to head down to the Pelican and Pig. One of the patrons at the Tailgate Brewery told us that it's a great place for barbecue, so we were really looking forward to it. Pelican and Pig. Unfortunately, it's closed on Mondays. There's a neighboring French restaurant there that we were contemplating going to. However, in the end, we decided not to, since we have fine French restaurants in Boston, and decided that we're going to stick with Tennessee food. As we're heading out of East Nashville, we actually run into the Jesse James house. This is a little hard to find. You'll have to look at a map. On this day, we walked over to the Gulch area, which includes close by Vanderbilt and Centennial Park. It's an easy walk. You'll pass by the Frist Museum. We did not stop by there. They have traveling exhibits. Check it out if you're interested. We did not. If you remember, Nashville was a railroad hub. You'll pass by where the main station was. It was around here. And sure enough, trains are still running. And then you head down these stairs and you will be essentially in the Gulch area. Of course, we're going to see a bunch of murals, and let me take you through a few of those. We're heading down 12th Avenue, the hippest part of Tennessee, or hippest part of Nashville. I guess it's like the Brooklyn. This is the Station Inn, considered America's best bluegrass club. We didn't actually check it out, but if you're interested in bluegrass, this is the place to come. If you have a sweet tooth, Milk and Honey is a stop for you. Come on in, let's check it out. We got the Milk and Honey salted chocolate chip cookies. Let's have a taste. Good. I'm going to try the strawberry Pop-Tart from the What Lifts You Merrill. Another winner. Southern style biscuits. Nashville is famous for it. There's two places you read about, Loveless Cafe and this one, Biscuit Love. We loved Biscuit Love. We didn't get a chance with Loveless Cafe because it's way out of town.
It is so good.
That's the biscuit. How is it, hon?
It's really good.
Really good?
It's like probably the best biscuit I've had.
Who'd have thunk that Nashville has the Parthenon? Check it out. That's a real replica of the Parthenon. So for those who are familiar with the Elgin marbles at the British Museum, it is a replica. Just across the street from the Parthenon, we have Vanderbilt. If you want to see a pretty cool hotel in Nashville, check out the Graduate Hotel, just near Vanderbilt. There are about 31 graduate hotels around the country, all in university towns. And this one you're going to see is pretty hip. Check this out. Today's the day we go to the Ryman Auditorium. Walking around downtown on Church Street, we bumped into the Nashville Public Library. We popped in there for a rest and found that they have very interesting exhibit on civil rights and women's rights. Definitely worth a visit. Have a look. In 2021, the National Museum of African American Music opened up. This is a very interesting museum, very cool, very modern, very dense. Definitely worth a visit.
Thank you.
Let me take you a look inside and see what you think. Well, to be honest, we were not thinking of going to the Johnny Cash Museum because it's quite expensive. Actually, all the museums are pretty expensive. But last minute we decided to go for it, and I have to tell you, it was worth it. It's a very cool museum, and Johnny Cash is worth it. Okay, let's head over now to the Nashville Country Music Hall of Fame. That's the big one. That's the one most people know about, and it is pretty awesome. Let's get inside. Just adjacent to the museum, we found this print shop where you can purchase photographs of your favorite musicians. These photographs are off the original negatives, period. There's also a famous print shop across the way in the same building. You'll have a look here. Okay, let's lay down some trivia here. Here we have the Goo Goo chocolate store. This was named after the Goo Goo cluster, which, believe it or not, was the first American candy bar, created in 1912. By candy bar, we mean a candy that combines several different kinds of candy, like chocolate, peanuts, marshmallow, nougat, caramel, things like that. It was called the Goo Goo cluster. Why the name Goo Goo? Because it's so good, they'll ask for it from birth. Goo Goo is the sound that the babies make, so they named it that. I believe that's the story. However, there's another story that Goo Goo, G-O-O, stands for Grand Old Opry. So, who knows? Anyway, we didn't actually taste it, but apparently it's delicious. So, if you got a sweet tooth, go ahead, buy it. You can order it through these automated machines here, so might be interesting. Nashville has a ton of rooftop cafes. Here's one. We ordered a hot honey chicken wrap. It was fantastic. Hot tenders with fries and Hennessy beverage. All right, let's see how this is gonna go. All right, this may be controversial, but it seems like Hattie B's wins over Prince. Barbecue ribs. All right. Nice border. After a 10-mile walk, that's right. The ice cream club, really excellent. And typical Nashville, it can be boozy. Phuket's restaurant, excellent barbecue as well as pulled pork. Let's have a look. Here we go. Brisket. I'm supposed to be vegan, but this is good. Another round. We have a shot of Jack, some beer, and of course, brisket and ribs. Pulled pork and ribs. Hush puppy. This is called whole cake. Oh, so good. Okay, I'm generally not a breakfast person, but do not miss 417 Union Restaurant. You know the address. It is fantastic. And I would definitely get the candied bacon again. But it's all good. And definitely check out upstairs. the legendary milkshake bar. And yes, I spell legendary correctly. Listen, you gotta go here if you like sundaes. This is probably the best sundae I've ever had in my life. Just watch your blood sugar. It's amazing.
Oh, that's hot.
If you're looking for a great time and party scene, fantastic music and heavy food, Nashville is definitely the place. 5 days would be adequate. Make sure you hit a weekend because the weekend really rocks. It does not have to be expensive, and I have to say it was a fantastic experience. Did not get tired of it. So check it out, enjoy it. I hope you make it there. Bye everybody.